Hello and welcome to the Big Bang Theory podcast. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Hello.
What a busy week it's been, Daniel.
Yep, couple of 3-2s.
Couple of 3-2s. Rare.
Are they? I think we always are involved in 3-2s.
In my mind, we're a 1-0 or a 0-0 kind of team.
Yeah, or a 3-2 kind of team.
Oh, or that, yeah. Or a 5-1.
Or a 5-1.
Anyway, it was two games, one in the league, one in the JPT, EFL, leasing.com trophy.
Yep.
We were home on... No, we weren't. We were away on Saturday at the Moss Rose.
Yeah, not Moss Road.
No, who knew? Well, lots of people it turned out, but not me. The Moss Rose played Macclesfield, came away with a 3-2.
Yep, last minute winner.
We made an absolute meal of it.
We nearly threw it away, didn't we, after a brilliant start?
Yeah, so we were 2-0 up after 17 minutes. Jose with the first, Sweeney with the second. That's a rare scoring combination.
Yeah. Well, Sweeney's scoring is rare.
That's true as well. And Jose's only just starting. But yeah, we Jose got his first goal 11 minutes in.
Yep. It looked fairly plain sailing, although you always worry, don't you, when you get an early 2-goal lead.
Tisdale says it. And if there's one thing we've learned, it's that we can trust Tisdale.
What Tisdale said was a dangerous...
He said 2-0 was a very dangerous scoreline.
I think he might have stolen that from Alex Ferguson, who more famously said that. But, yeah.
Who?
I don't know, some old bloke.
Oh, right, fine.
Yeah, so we made it difficult for ourselves, didn't we? But ultimately,
got away with it.
It was a big win.
Well, two things happened, really, didn't they? So it was a game of 3 bits. Early lead. Jose got the first, Sweeney got the second. We looked like we were coasting into half-time, and then we conceded a pretty ridiculous goal.
Yeah, comedy goal, really, wasn't it?
The old pinball wizard around the goal mouth.
Yeah.
I think it was Atangana that...
He just kind of hoofs it, doesn't he? Or tries to sort of hoof it away, and it hits someone, and then it hits someone else, and then it ends up bouncing over Lewis Ward and into the net. And it gave him a lifeline, didn't it? And especially coming before the break.
It was right before the break, wasn't it?
That gives them, like, they're well back in that then, aren't they, you know?
And then they got their second goal midway through the second half, 2-2, and I thought...
Yeah, weak one that as well, from the corner. You'd expect us to deal with those. You know, sometimes we're rock solid, never conceding. I think we've conceded, like, amongst the lowest amount of goals in... the whole football pyramid.
Yep.
And then, but we are capable. We are very capable of letting in a goal like that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Ward that's a bit less commanding in his box, maybe than Maxted. I mean, if Maxted runs at you, I suppose you get out of the way or get flattened, don't you?
Yeah, although I think Max is a bit more of a puncher. Although Ward's been doing his fair share of punching as well since he's come back.
Yeah.
I think he's been out for a while. He'll get over it and he'll get back to more like how we were seeing at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, so then it looked like it was heading for a 2-2, didn't it? And then, I think it was the 80s.
I mean, it was all Macclesfield, really, wasn't it? Second half.
It was. Didn't look like a team at the bottom, did they?
No, and it was. I was just sort of resigned to taking a point, I think, but then we kind of picked up at the end, didn't we? At
5 minutes
at 2-2, we kind of got back into the game, and I think the goal largely, Matt Taylor definitely credited to his coaches for coercing him into going 4-4-2.
Yeah, dear old Wayne Carlisle.
Is that right? 4-4-2. No, anyway, bringing off a Jose for Richardson, and it really worked out, didn't it?
It did.
Richardson involved in that equaliser, and the winner. Sorry, and yeah. Credit's got to go in this game to Pierce Sweeney, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Some delightful bits of play. Like, for a start, the finish, on his wrong foot. Didn't hit anyone's windscreen, let alone his own, just hit the back of the net. And then the little run, I mean, who knows what he's doing up there in the hole, in that kind of number 8 role, really. Takes it past the player and plays that lovely little through ball to Williams, who crosses it for their keeper to sort of bat into Bowman's shins, and then...
Yeah, Bowman celebrated like it was an absolute...
Yeah, it doesn't matter. No pictures on the score sheet, is there?
That's very true. So that gave 2 assists to Williams.
Yeah.
Who's, really been exceptional this year, hasn't he?
Starting to look far too good for us, isn't he?
And we'll come on to this in a minute, but in the match last night at Portsmouth, when he came on,
Yeah.
ooh,
He is.
ooh, mama.
He is 100% going to be somewhere else, possibly at Portsmouth next season, unless we get promoted. Which
Yes.
is, there's a good chance of that happening.
Good chance.
So have that Macclesfield. How'd you like that? Have that Mr. Scruff.
Mr. Scruff supports Macclesfield.
Well, he's from there.
Is he?
Yeah. Have that Joy Division.
Have that Silkmen Cafe.
Yeah.
Have that Square Crumpet.
Have that the 1975.
Are they from
I think
Macclesfield?
they're from somewhere around
Everyone's
there.
from Macclesfield. Who knew?
Have that My Mum.
No jokes, please, everyone.
She's not from Macclesfield, though.
Isn't she?
She's from Stockport.
She
That's
livid.
close.
She livid that you were celebrating on the grave of her ancestors.
Nah, she gets behind the city. Yeah.
Oh, good. It's good to know. Well, Mrs. Dan, that one was for you. So that was 3-2. That was a welcome result, and especially welcome given that everyone else around us looked like they might throw away points and then didn't. So it was,
we had to win that one, didn't we?
but everyone was looking like they were going. It wasn't like, oh look,
Oh, the Argyle game, that chance. Who were they playing? Crawley.
Crew.
Oh,
Promotion rivals. So there now seems to be an absolute war of words going on the internet between Crew fans and Argyle fans, both who are claiming the other are the worst kind of fans in the country. I don't know what that means. I mean, whatever. But so yeah, matey on about 65 minutes. If you didn't see this, listeners, Crew.
there's one thing you can take from all that is that people who broadcast their opinions about football on the internet largely are idiots.
There's just a few exceptions.
Are there?
I don't know.
Can't think of
That's a
any.
question for our listeners. Anyway, yeah. So if you didn't see it, Crew. I think there was 1-1 at this point, wasn't it? And one of their top scorers was through clean on goal.
I mean, it's a good a chance as you're ever likely to get.
Yeah, was he
As a
9 yards
footballer.
out, and he just
If that, even, yeah.
scooped it to the side when it would have been much easier just to put it in the net.
Yeah. Anyway.
So anyway, Argyle won. Everyone won except Swindon's match was called off, which means that we're now level on games with them.
effectively, that became our game in hand, didn't it, then?
It did, yeah. So it was good to get that result. So now everyone, because Argyle played last night, more of that in a minute, everyone pretty much in the top 5 is on the same games played,
Yes.
which makes my life easier when I'm recounting the league.
Yeah. But they're not all on the same points.
They're certainly not. Now, so to add to that then, to give you the full picture, listeners, Argyle played Macclesfield last night at Macclesfield. Best away support. Argyle, we take the most away. We take the most away on a Tuesday night and away at Macclesfield, most away. Whatever, Argyle, because you couldn't do nothing with it. They were losing, in fact, but managed to get back and got a draw at Macclesfield, which meant that their game in hand did not catch up. So the league...
So
So the league looks like this, if you will. Everyone in the top 4 has played 33 games, Dan. Swindon top, 63 points, 21 goals plus for the goal difference. Exeter City, second place, 63 points, 14 goals plus. Crew, third place, 61 points, plus 20 on the goals. Argyle, fourth, 61 points, plus 17 on the goals scored. So the top 4 separated by 2 points. Then we drop right down. Cheltenham, they played a game less, 32, but they're on 54 points. So there is 7 points between them and third place, and an enormous 9 points between us in second and Cheltenham in fifth.
Yeah. I don't like it.
Well, it's really annoying. There's 4
I know.
teams in it, isn't there? It's really annoying
It's
because
very-
someone's going to be gutted.
Exactly. It's just like one of those... I mean, who knows what... A lot can happen by the end of the season. Cheltenham could be top or whatever, but like by then, who knows? But... yeah.
I want to talk about Colchester United. Can I do that? They're in 7th place, 34 played, one more than us, 52 points. Thing number 1, their name, Colchester United. If you're the kind of person who calls them Col U,
Yeah.
get absolutely stuffed forever.
Yeah.
What the hell are you talking about?
It's like Man U, isn't it?
Do me a favour. Man U's been called Man U for a million years. Col U.
Yeah.
Col U. Call me, mate. I'll call me and I'll tell you you're wrong about Col U. So... It's nonsense. It's not, and I don't want to start a war of words, another podcast, but I particularly blame that other Division 3-4 podcast. I can't even think what they're called. They're all Col U this and Col U that.
Well, it's easier than saying Colchester United.
Doesn't
I suppose,
matter. I really got a thing about, also, while we're on it, stop abbreviating our name. We're Exeter City. They're Swindon Town. It's Plymouth Argyle. Call them by their proper names. Don't call us Exeter on the telly. Does my head in.
Really?
Yeah. They really do it when they're counting down the scores on BBC.
I haven't got a problem with that.
I really have.
Exeter. It's the only team in Exeter.
It doesn't matter. We're Exeter City. Okay. And Hevertree United would have a thing or two to say about that, by the way.
They can be Hevertree, can't they? You know?
They don't want to be. Exeter United.
Anyway.
Our forebears didn't give up the good name of St Sidwell's School or whatever they were called, so they were then not called Exeter City.
Well, they didn't build that cathedral for nothing. I know that.
They did not.
That took ages.
I don't know what we're talking about now. Anyway, what we can say from this
and
is...
then, the
Oh, go on.
Diedecker bombings or whatever they're called, they tried to come and destroy our fair cathedral in the Second World War, didn't they?
Did not.
Had to rebuild it. So a lot of work's has gone into us being officially a city. So yeah, fair enough. I don't. Again, like I said, I don't really care.
I care a lot, as you can tell.
I feel like there's a couple more things to say about the Macclesfield
all right,
game.
yeah. Let's get back to the topic
considering,
at hand. Did anyone get a square crumpet while they were there? We don't know.
Who knows? No one got in touch about that, whether or not they went to the Silkmen Cafe. But what is there to say about it? I mean, I'd tell you what, this is a nice cross by Dickinson for the second... No, hang on, am I thinking of the right game here? I don't think I am. Yeah, I am, aren't I? For the Sweeney goal. Yeah, lovely Dickinson. Cross. He really dug it out of the corner there. Who's like... And I think we've already seen, haven't we, that he's going to be...
Yeah,
useful for that. Especially
he's fitted in really nicely already, hasn't he?
Especially given we've, that's the main thing we were kind of getting from Jack Sparks was his really good deliveries. So it's so that's really good to see, and it's good that he's fitting in so well. Didn't feature in the Portsmouth game, which we'll come on to.
But that's interesting, isn't it? So with Dickinson coming in, it's freed up Richardson to be back in a natural position, and he's been really good in those positions.
He has, and I think he's a great player to have coming off the bench, isn't he?
So he came off at Macclesfield.
Yeah, and just his pace, and he's just, we start to see him really kind of like get game time and show what he can do, and why those Nottingham Forest fans at the start of the season when we signed him seemed so excited about him playing for us.
Absolutely.
And I think he looks like he's going to be a real player. I mean, we won't get to see too much more of him, I would have thought. It's fairly likely that he won't be back with us next season.
Although I don't know.
You never know.
And there's Forest are in the playoff chase, aren't they, for Premier League?
Yeah.
And
we have to assume that he probably won't, because it's normally the way. But you never know. But that's encouraging for him, and I think it's good that we stuck with him. With Matt Taylor stuck with him, despite
absolutely.
kind of like a couple of nervy performances, having to play out of position and whatnot, and he's been really impressive. Obviously, the other thing to say is there was no Nicky Law again. Still suffering from, I guess, at the time from that the head injury that he got from getting kneed in the head and giving away a free kick.
Remarkable.
But Matt J again stepping in and giving Matt Taylor surely a big old lovely headache. Don't call the episode that. But, he is, isn't he?
Yes.
Because you kind of think, like, can we really drop Matt J that pass for Randell for the opening goal?
I know. He's
beautiful.
He's really had an excellent, not an excellent season, but when he's appeared, he's been great.
I do think when it comes to the defending side of things, that Law's a better option in there for just taking care of the ball a bit better. And whatnot, but Matt J, every time he gets the ball, if we're on the attack, he's trying to make something happen every single time, isn't he?
Yeah,
trying to find that decisive pass and trying to move forward quickly and have a go. He had a few shots in that game as well, and links up well with Jose.
Yeah,
links up well with Williams, and you got to be thinking now for this Saturday, who starts that, because we now know the Law's back because he played against Portsmouth. But so, I mean, I'm fairly sure he's going to that Nicky Law's going to be back in the team.
I mean, it's interesting to see Law in the Portsmouth game, which we'll come on to in a minute. But actually, you can see he's very calm on the ball.
Yeah.
And in a way that's good, and in a way that's Jay's lack of calmness. Kind of, it's not chaos, but like need to push forward.
Yeah.
Those two things, you play them off against each other, don't you? So
the problem is now, which is again, like I said, is a nice one, is how can we get the most out of both of those two players, playing them both at the right kind of times, and when we need a goal, or if we need a kind of positive start against a weaker team, that maybe Matt J is the option to go with, or find a way of working him in there. I suspect that Law's back in now permanently until, but you never know. I mean, he's done everything possible, Matt J, to warrant a place in the first team, and he literally couldn't have done any more.
No. And we do know that Law hasn't got the legs that Jay's got. And, Jay for 20 minutes at the end, there could be scope for this kind of thing. It doesn't often happen, though, does it?
No, it doesn't, actually, but we'll see. Normally, when he takes Law off, it's for a slightly more defensive option, isn't it? Because we've got so many now in centre midfield. We've got so many options.
This is the best squad I can think of for years.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of people saying that, and I definitely agree. And if we had those...
The injured lot.
I mean, perhaps that would mean Dickinson didn't come in at this point in the season. But if Woodman and Jack Sparks were fit, I mean, look at there's so much depth all over the pitch.
I mean, Woodman's not far away from retirement, is he?
No, but he's shown this season already that he's still a useful player.
I agree.
Let's not forget his role in that Argyle game.
Yeah, but you got him, you got Sparks. We'll talk about this in a minute. We've got Macclesfield, of course, who's still injured. Who else are we missing?
Well, Lee Holmes is sort of,
course,
but his job seems to be berating refs. Did you see that?
That was Swindon, wasn't it? Yeah, in the tunnel afterwards, going mad. Loved it.
But that's a valuable role. You need someone in there berating the refs, and I'm glad that Holmes there to do that.
And then there's, of course, the bench is full of players actually that we saw. And we'll talk. I keep saying we'll talk about it in a minute. Maybe we should talk about it. But the Portsmouth match, Fisher. And Dickinson, whether he starts or not, and a Jose Bowman, Lee Martin. There's a wide range. Moxie.
Yeah, before you even get to these youngsters, which we'll talk about. But if you just look at that centre midfield, you've got Collins, Asangana, Taylor, Law, and Matt J. So 5 people. I know they don't all do exactly the same thing, but that's 5 players trying to get into 3 spots, and any of them on their day could start, and you'd be happy with any of them playing, wouldn't you? So
absolutely.
It's we've been lucky with injuries this season on the whole, and it's for the run-in. That's a great thing, isn't it? That we've got, especially considering we've played 44 games so far.
I know.
These Premier League teams moan about that and how they got we need a break for the winter. 44 games we've done.
Yeah,
and we've still got almost a third of the season left.
I know.
Get stuffed.
Look good though, don't they? I mean, so let's talk about this Portsmouth match then. So it's the old. Whatever it's called.
Should we do a little interlude?
Oh, yeah. Interlude.
Here's the interlude.
Hope you enjoyed that interlude. We're back.
We're back, yeah.
To talk, thanks for sticking with us, to talk about the EFL trophy, which we reached the semi-finals of. Last night we went to Fratton Road.
No, we didn't.
What's it called?
Fratton Park.
What's
Come
the
on.
matter with me?
This is uncharacteristic. You know about stadiums.
Yeah.
I don't, but...
Fratton Road. We went to Fratton Park, of course, listeners. I'd imagine Fratton Park's on Fratton Road, but whatever. To play Portsmouth, League One Portsmouth, Kenny Jackets Portsmouth.
I'd hate to be called Kenny Jacket. Sound like a crap magician from the 80s.
He looks a bit like a magician from the 80s. Anyway, up Kenny's jacket sleeves, he pulled a result. Portsmouth won 3-2, just about. They went out with full strength.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's prefix this all by saying that obviously our thoughts have been made fairly clear on this competition. It's got its uses. We've got some money out of it.
Yeah.
We've used it to give experience to our youngsters.
Yeah.
And to returning injured players. And obviously that's that.
But what a load of tud.
But yeah, I mean,
Anyway, we got to the semis, and of course the winner plays at Wembley. City put out a very young team with a few experienced heads in there.
Yeah, I think probably the average age was probably quite normal, actually.
Was it? But there was a real...
Well, Gary Warren was in there.
Gary Warren and Nicky Law played.
Yeah.
And Ward was in goal. But there were...
Parks, he was in there as well, wasn't he?
Jordan Dyer.
Yeah.
Harry Kite. Joel Randall. All started.
Yeah.
And gave a very good account of themselves.
There was a lot of kind of was some murmuring, and even Sam Parkin seemed to be questioning on this game was on Sky, in case you didn't know, which you do. Sam Parkin was sort of questioning why we would put out a,
Yeah. Everyone kept going, it's a game
less
at
than
Wembley.
full strength time.
We hate Wembley.
I mean,
I'd like a trip.
Look,
I'd like a trip with no pressure.
whatever. I would have gone, and we would have, it would have been nice. Fine. We can't lose sight of what's important here, which is getting out of League One,
League Two.
getting out of League Two and into League One.
Yes.
The League One.
Yes.
And it's like, I think Portsmouth have taken it too seriously.
I'd
Concentrate
agree.
on getting promoted,
Well,
lads.
they surely that's a bigger deal for them.
Yeah, and like I just said, we played 44 games already this season. There's still quite a few to go. You know how it is, like with injuries and whatnot, and I'm surprised they took it so seriously.
Anyway, they did take it seriously, and we
made 10 changes. They made
10
two.
changes. It's not to say we didn't take it seriously, and Taylor was saying as much, but we rested. Bowman and Ajose weren't even on the bench.
Nor was Dickinson or Attengana.
No, Randall Williams was, Matt J was.
Yeah, and Archie Collins was, but didn't start. So, and Law's coming back from an injury, so otherwise he probably wouldn't have started either. We wouldn't have thought that would have meant Matt J had been in previous rounds. But those kids have played in the other rounds and they've done really well.
Yeah.
So it's fair enough that they get to play on Sky on at a big ground. It's a very impressive ground as well, isn't it? It looked great. In front of the world's eyes.
Nice.
And I say that because it was broadcast on Sky Sports. However, if you're putting yourself in the shop window for Exeter City and you're like, let's show the world what we can do. Yeah, it's on at the same time as Atletico Madrid against Liverpool in the Champions League, biggest competition in the world.
Yeah.
And also
Borussia Dortmund PSG.
Dortmund PSG.
Yes.
So it's not really basically it's only Exeter City and Portsmouth fans watching it, and Sam Parkin. Sam Parkin looks like to me like Freddie Ljungberg if he'd been sort of stung in the face by a load of bees.
Ouch! I'm not saying that about the bees. I'm saying that about that comparison.
Is that not fair?
I mean, I think he should just wear a tie. He loves the jumper, white shirt, blazer combo. I think wear a tie, Sam.
Okay, I mean, I haven't got a problem with that.
I think he looks like a supply teacher.
I haven't got a problem with his bee-stung Freddie Ljungberg face either. I'm just making an observation.
If any of our listeners would like to be referred to as a bee-stung anyone, let us know.
I mean, he's the go-to guy. We already said it before. We knew he was going to be on there.
Called it, yeah. I'd like to have a new player announcement, please.
There goes the klaxon of a pair of scissors clinking against a mug.
We got to work within our budget, Dan.
I could have made a klaxon, couldn't I? For that point.
Why bother?
Yeah.
We got a new player, new goalkeeper on the bench.
Apparently so. Jared Thompson.
Jared Thompson. Welcome, Jared.
Welcome.
Announce Jared. They said. Except no one knew he was coming.
Everyone was asking for it, weren't they? I already missed Dino Visser.
Visser's gone, of course. EFL trophy legend Visser.
Jared Thompson. Oh, he played for...
He's been in the Chelsea youth team.
He came from Swindon to Chelsea.
Yes.
And now to Exeter.
And he's been in Northern Ireland playing,
Whoa.
I
mean,
believe.
Don't Google Jared Thompson if you don't like seeing hunky blokes with their tops off.
Oh, I do like seeing that, so I will be.
Okay, I don't think this is him, but have a look at that.
Woo, Jared.
I'll post this up on our Twitter so you can see. I think there might be another person called Jared Thompson.
Oh, poor old Jared.
Oh, look, there he is in his pants and a backwards cap.
I
doing
caramba.
a couple of loose shaka sort of hand gestures. Sort of thing you might do at a surfer if you've just done a good...
Yeah, a gnarly wave.
Just got pitted.
Is that what they say? Anyway, so he's in goal. No, he's
okay,
not.
here's a real guy.
He's on the bench.
He looks like...
Dan's showing me pictures.
He's another bearded
He's
boy.
another bearded goalkeeper. There he is. We'll see if we can find him on Twitter and tweet him. Gary Warren's dad. No.
Oh, he's played at England level.
Doesn't Gary Warren and Lewis Ward's dad follow us on Twitter?
What, they share a dad?
No, it's two different people. Gary Warren and Lewis Ward's dad.
I don't think Gary Warren follows us on Twitter.
Come on, Gary.
Lewis Ward's dad may do.
I think he does.
Okay.
Mr. Ward. Anyway, Jared Thompson, new player on the bench.
Yeah.
That's all we know about him.
I think we've given him too much airtime
already.
already, to be honest.
We have. It's your fault for showing me hunky men. So that's that.
Yeah, so we
anyway,
lost.
it was 0-0, 70 minutes, and then I'm checking my notes, but Jake Taylor scored the first goal.
Yep.
It deflected off someone, didn't it? Came out from the area.
I mean, it was a gift from the goalkeeper, really.
Right, but a lovely volley by Taylor.
He just sort of, I don't know what the keeper's doing there. Didn't get enough on it. Tried to punch it. There's a little bit of kind of Joel Randall sort of impeding the keeper, perhaps a little bit.
Yeah,
but you got to be stronger. Joel Randall's, weighs about 30 kilograms and is, 4'3".
Yeah.
So
the keeper got held up. But Taylor scored a nice volley.
Bass, he's called, that keeper, or Bass.
Yes, I saw that. The bass man. Then Portsmouth equalised almost straight away, but not quite.
That
was the one that was cleared off the line by Tom Parks, right?
It was initially, and then followed up. But yeah, it was a slight slip by Warren that kind of let them in. But which is a shame because he actually had a really good game. Him and Parks were solid, and a credit to us at centre back for most of that game.
Indeed. Then we had another. Then we went 2-1 up. It was an own goal, but Joel Randall put the defender under pressure.
Yeah. Joel Randall, for me, is probably. I mean, it's hard to say because there's a lot of exciting young players coming through. He's definitely. I think he's my kind of number one of the current crop. Yeah. I mean, there's loads. I mean, we didn't see Alex Hartridge play last night, but he's again. It's looked good every time I've seen him. Same with Harry Kite, who was brilliant last night as well. And it's a big test, isn't it? You're live on TV. I know no one's watching it, but you are live on TV, and you're playing against a team who are a whole division above you, and a massive club too. Shouldn't even be in League One. And to step up the way they did, especially those youngsters, was massively good for their development and for showing everyone what they can do and how good we're getting those youngsters going.
Absolutely. I thought Kite was excellent as well. So that took us to 2-1. They equalised again. This was with a lob over Lewis Ward. Not much Ward could have done about it, really.
No, I don't think so. No.
I mean, it was hard. Obviously,
the chance kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He just he was almost facing the other way and sort of turned and chipped him. It was a really nice goal. But yeah, it sort of turned into, for a match that I essentially didn't care about the result of, it really kind of went off on one in the last 20 minutes.
It was an exciting game of football, wasn't it? Last 20 minutes, and then Portsmouth. Well, the referee signalled 5 minutes of added time, which Matt Taylor was livid about.
It seemed weird that there was that much.
Did seem weird.
Time added on. I don't remember there being any points, especially during the second half. I don't think the physio came on at any point, did he, or anything like that?
I can't think of anything.
So
that first half, someone came on, but second half not.
Yeah,
and then
5 minutes.
They actually scored in the 96th and a half minute.
Yeah, although they always say, don't they? Oh, it's a minimum of 5 minutes. So whatever. But
that meant 3-2 in knocked out.
And then the worst thing about the whole thing was that stupid impression of what's his name, Colin McGregor or whatever.
Who?
When the guy scored, he did that Colin McGregor.
Who's Colin McGregor?
The UFC guy.
Is that what his name is?
Isn't it?
That
Conor
guy.
McGregor.
Yeah, Conor McGregor. Yeah, the Irish UFC fella.
Yeah, he does his sort of stupid arm thing.
That's what Matey was doing.
Which is oh, come on, mate. I mean, that's kind of, isn't that a bit outdated anyway? Anyway, it made me hate him.
Fair enough. So they won 3-2. I would say three things about
They were
that.
calling him Marquis.
Right, oh yeah.
But to me, that word says marquee,
Yeah, who knows? Though you guess you don't want to be called after a big white plastic tent.
I was thinking more Marquis de Sade, but...
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so he... it says three things to me. We're out of the EFL trophy at the semi-final stage.
Yes.
Thing number 2, we gave a very good account of ourselves.
Yep.
I didn't want it to be embarrassing, and it definitely wasn't embarrassing.
No, that was our main... As we both said, that's our main concern, wasn't it? I don't want to just get pumped on national TV.
No. And thing number 3... let's say 4 things then. I think 300 City fans went. Excellent effort. Well done. Thing number 4, I don't think it's a bad thing that we haven't got another game.
Absolutely not.
So
and also, if you, in a way, for the kind of for momentum and for feeling around the club, That's why I was concerned about getting beat like 4 or 5-0 or something, because then that can have an effect, and we could carry that over into the league, even though it wasn't really our league side. But like, it can do, can't it? But what actually happened was kind of the best of both worlds, that we're now out of this competition, so we haven't got to go do that whole thing of Wembley, a distraction essentially.
Yeah.
But we were sort of the better team, or at least in with a shout of that, and did ourselves really proud.
Yeah.
And so we can come away from that not feeling in any way bad about ourselves, and that shouldn't affect us.
No.
If anything, it should give us like more, belief in ourselves.
Indeed. And they say about Portsmouth last year, if you recall, because they were in the final last year of this thing too.
Well, they won it, didn't they?
They won, that's right, but they lost kind of momentum, as did Sunderland, who were also in the final.
Yeah.
In the run up to that.
Yeah.
thing.
Well, and then they didn't get promoted, did they? Last season?
Neither of those teams got promoted. So I think obviously we'd rather take promotion, and it's a busy time of year as well, and we'll talk about this in a second because of changing in fixtures. But that would have caused another change in fixture, blah, 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 blah. I think
Yeah, that now makes Cheltenham away on a Saturday, doesn't it? Right, and it would have been on been moved to an evening or something.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't think that's a bad thing at all. So we avoided the moving of any game because of the leasing final. But one game has been moved, of course, Argyle away.
Hasn't it just?
Saturday afternoon, Monday night.
We did. I'm not sure we talked about this, but maybe we have. I was kind of expecting that it might be moved to an earlier time on the Saturday before we knew about this Sky thing, because usually they don't, the police don't like having derby at 3:00 because it gives people too much time to get pissed. Supposedly, is that what it is?
Yeah, I believe so.
But then the news comes in that it's being considered for broadcast on Sky.
Yep.
And then everyone's kind of looking at the available times. It looked like maybe it could have happened on the same day at the Saturday lunchtime.
Yeah, that's right.
It wasn't to be. It was, and so it's moved to the Monday night.
Yeah.
So, surely the Devon and Cornwall police aren't happy about that, are they?
I mean, it's funny, isn't it? I was thinking about two things. I was thinking, one, yeah, they've always tried to avoid trouble. Two, I guess much bigger matches happen all the time in evenings, but it's whether the...
Yeah, but there's a bit of context, isn't it? I'm not saying this is the biggest derby in the world or anything, it's just a derby.
Yeah.
But there's quite a bit of subtext here, isn't there? We've not been down there for a long time.
Yeah.
We're both basically fighting for the same position.
Place, yeah.
We beat them 4-0 at home.
Yeah.
So they're baying for blood.
The last night game there, I believe, some people got attacked.
Yeah, coach windows are getting smashed and whatnot. So it's a bit confusing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, maybe the money that Argyle, because I believe Argyle make 100,000 extra for it being on the telly.
Yeah.
So maybe that all goes on policing. I don't know. It seems mad.
Maybe.
Anyway.
But the other thing is that we were already selling tickets for this game.
Yes.
Which I don't know if that's the normal thing we do. If we always sell tickets like that far in advance.
I think we sell them as soon as we can.
Right, okay.
'Cause obviously our home games you can buy a lot further in advance.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm not criticising anyone for that happening, but so what's happened is a lot of people bought tickets who now can't come.
Yes. I mean, they're offering direct refunds and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so
but it's a shame, isn't it? And obviously you've got the consolation of you can watch it on telly, but I mean, it's not quite that simple. Not everyone's got Sky. Not everyone knows how to find these streams online without a subscription, although it is possible. And if you want to know, just send me a DM and I can point you in the right direction. But it is a shame, isn't it? It's not the same as if you're planning a trip down if maybe you live a long way away and you've planned a trip down, you might have bought travel for it already.
Yeah.
I mean, you're very well prepared if you've done that, but I suppose you have to be if you want to do it cheap
or whatever. Yeah.
So you've probably lost money there. I think it's a bit of a balls up, and obviously people are annoyed because it's all down to Sky, who essentially, I mean, what do they care about us?
Yes, that's right. They show no interest in us at all until it suits them. And I know we get money from them for the EFL deal or whatever, but yeah, real funny old situation, really, isn't it?
It is.
So that's that. So that's about a month away, isn't it? Towards the end of March. Now a Monday night. if you've missed that news, sorry to tell you via podcast, but I don't expect you have missed it.
No.
But before then, we've got plenty more promotion games against promotion rivals.
Because there's so much talk of that Argyle game, obviously, with this happening, and just anyway, I keep thinking it's sooner than it is, but it's actually like 6 games before that or something. You know,
something like that.
It's a long way off.
By then, it might well be a lot more clear what's going to happen.
Yeah, if it was our next game, it would be like, you know. But we were in the same position before the home game, were we not? That they could have, if they won it, they'd have gone above us.
I think so. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So that will come along, won't it? But yeah, up next is Northampton,
the Cobblers
Town away.
Yes.
The Cobblers.
We don't have a good record away. I think we've only won 1 of the last 10 away at Northampton.
Okay.
It's something like that. It's definitely not good. They were looking really strong, although they've lost some form currently. Sam Hoskins is their top scorer as usual.
They were in a good little bit of run of form before we played them last time, weren't they?
They were. So if you recall, that was 3-2 at home.
Yeah, I told you we loved the 3-2.
You're right. I, as a matter of fact, just happened to be on a Northampton podcast the other day talking about this match to them, and they were like, Charles from that podcast was saying, "Oh no, we watched that game and we thought they're going to be going up this year, no doubt about it." That was their feedback on the thing.
Okay. There's a fair bit of that in there from opposition.
There is.
We got a lot of praise from Portsmouth supporters after last night.
Right. Okay.
I'm
not surprised, really.
No, you expect that after that kind of game, wouldn't you? But yeah, so they're looking like playoffs are a possibility for them, aren't they? So
absolutely.
so it's not like they've got nothing to play for.
No.
So they're gonna be just as keen to win as we are.
They've got our old frenemy, Keith Curl, as their manager still, of course, who we seem to play every week. Was that 4 seasons ago when we had Carlisle in the playoffs?
Yeah, whenever that was, yeah.
I think we played him 8 times in about a month, didn't we? But
yeah,
he's there. He's been there for a little while now.
If you told me about when I was 10 and
I know.
Sticking his face into my Merlin sticker album, that I'd still be talking about that man, you know, almost week in, week out, 20 years later, I wouldn't have believed you.
No,
but you'd also would have said on a podcast, and I would have said, "What's that? What's the internet?"
That's true, I suppose. Now, it's worth saying this. Although their form against them at their place is bad, Sixfields is their ground, isn't it? Is that right?
I don't know.
Oh, suddenly I've forgotten all grounds. I think that's right. They've lost the last 3 games. 3-2 away to Walsall. They lost 1-0 at home to Swindon, and they lost 1-0 at home to Port Vale. So they're teams that we've struggled against as well, not Walsall, but Swindon and Port Vale. So I think it's very much, we come into this game on par with them, really. I'd be pleased if we came away with a point.
Really?
Well, you think we've got to go for the full kablamo, do you?
I think we got to be hoping to win that one, yeah.
Interesting, okay.
If we're going to be, it's tight up there. These are fine margins, now, and like the team that goes up will be the team. If it's between us and whoever, if that is going to be for that 3rd place or whatever, 2nd, 3rd, it's going to be the team that wins these kind of difficult games as well. That it's going to be that close by the looks of things. Yeah. So I think if we're still thinking we want to stay up in those top places and go up, smoothly, these are games we've got to win.
Well, that's a fair comment, Dan.
Also, we've won 3 in a row in the league.
Yeah.
And they've lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
So, on form, we should be winning it.
We should be winning it, fair enough. We then have Crawley at home in a week's time, and then the following Tuesday we've got Crewe at home. So that's a big one too, isn't it? I mean, that's a really big one.
Yeah. I'll tell you this, they're going to be worried about one man in particular, and that's Randell Williams.
Aren't they just?
He scored 2 against them in that last game, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he's been on fire recently, hasn't he?
Well, it was really interesting watching it on the telly last night, wasn't it? Portsmouth. When he came on, suddenly...
First thing he does is take on about 4 players.
Lee Hendry. Because you hear the commentary where you were.
Yeah.
So Lee Hendry was going mad about it. Oh, look at this guy. He's off. And he really was. And I was like, yeah, crumbs. He looked great.
Yeah.
As he does.
So, it's a good thing we've got him in it. And they'll be doubling up on him like teams have started to do.
Yep.
But as he started to show, and we talked about before, he started to show that he can use his right foot too. So, show him show him down the outside at your own peril, because it doesn't matter which way you send him. He can do something either way, and he's rapid. And I'm expecting a big performance from him, and he's the one, I think, for this season. If he can keep up the way he's playing, it'll be a big part of whether or not we go up.
I think that's probably true. It's also interesting to notice that Bowman started scoring again.
In a way.
Well, we've needed that.
I mean, like I said, he has. Yeah,
he got that one against Oldham. He got one against Macclesfield. Maybe we can. Maybe he can kick on again, because it's just. It's not that it's the only way we play, but sometimes you just got to scrape those ones out.
I agree. And also, it's so important at the moment. I wanted to bring this up about a Jose, who's seems to be like, you want a man at the back post to be there and stick the ball in the back. That's what he does, isn't it? You can see that he'll get onto the end of those, like, he'll be in the 6-yard box tapping them in. He's shown that already since he's come back and started scoring. And then with a player like that and a big player like Bowman, who's going to give you trouble in the air and who's just going to be, making a nuisance of himself and scoring, that's it's different. You can't. It gives us lots of different options, and it will give defenses like so much to worry about.
Yeah.
You've got these dangerous players coming in from the wing. You've got 2 different types of striker in the box, and I think that's so good that we talked about it, didn't we? And Jose had been. People weren't sure about him after he came into the team at the beginning of the season, and then got injured and came out, and people were like saying that we needed to buy someone in the summer.
Yeah.
And I think he's really coming in and proving, like, no, look, I can do this. I can be that player you need. And if you think of the difference between him and Lee Martin, as having as a partner for Bowman, it's hands down, Jose's the player you need in there. Lee Martin's not popping up at the back stick to pop one in, is he?
No, he's
but
not.
A Jose does it for fun.
Yeah, it's exciting times, isn't it? I mean, you're right. If we come away from Northampton with a win, we'll feel like we got this.
Yeah. I don't want to start talking about this too early yet, but people always talked about that team, the team that lost to Blackpool in the playoff final. Watkins and Wheeler, Moore Taylor, that side.
Yeah.
That was the Ampadu in there sort of for that season. That was the best team we had, and we didn't go up for a while. I think this team currently is the best. It's the best since then, and if we don't make it, that'll be a real kind of, who knows if we'll have a team that strong again for a while.
Yes, that's absolutely right. I mean, there's no easy run. We haven't got an easy run in. We've got Argyle, we've got Bradford, we've got these Crewe and Northampton games coming up. But there's difficult games spread out. But if we just keep winning, we just not grind out the results, but grind down the other teams.
Yeah.
They've won again. They're catching us up. Their goal difference is improving. That's affecting everyone, isn't it? Around us.
Yeah, and I am like kind of wary about saying it, but all the things that we were saying, if only this could happen early in the season, then we'll be all right. Yeah. They are starting to happen, aren't they?
Yeah.
We did find a replacement for Sparks, so Jose has come back in and started scoring.
Yeah, Bowman scored more.
Yeah, Bowman scored more. Williams' end product has improved. Atangana's come in, and he has been as good as we were hoping he was going to be.
Yeah.
Lewis Ward is back, and so we'll see. But we're very well placed at the moment.
Yeah, we've done everything we possibly could, really.
Yeah, and credit's got to go to Matt Taylor, hasn't it?
Yeah, and he's giving credit to Wayne Carlisle, so credit to all of them.
Credit to all of them, and the other little fella, Dan, whatever his name is.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
love him.
Yeah.
All right,
but he's I think the recruitment has been strong.
Yeah.
And we're getting there, aren't we?
We really are. Okay.
Any other business?
I don't think so. You got any more business?
Can't think of any.
Okay. Well, it's later in the week, obviously, because of that old leasing.com. So we'll see you sooner next week after Northampton. Until then.
I've got one more thing to say.
Oh,
have I?
I don't know.
All I was going to say was that Mr. Methane is also from Macclesfield. Remember him?
No.
He was kind of that guy he can just fart on command. Do you remember him?
No, I really don't. He's probably been on the Silkmen Cafe too much.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, that's all we want to say about that. Cheers.
Cheers.